it was it was good. No, everyone there. I mean, they weren't they no exciting conversations. No, this time I didn't get any type of leads, but I just left my information. I did put the QR code. You have a QR code on your flyer, so I copied that and I put it on my flyer. So I did see a spike in activity. So
what's the when you scan the QR code? Where does it go to?
it goes to my website. It goes to my it goes to my what is it? What's the value of your home? Where you type in
That's
yeah. So
a lot of people, they have the incentive to scan because they're curious.
yeah. So I saw that I had like 6 hits on that because it was me and 2 other agents on the team. We walked around and that was the flyer that we sent out. So I saw that within that 24-hour period, I had like 6 people that scanned it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So I got 6 hits.
At least
I don't know if they were the same person doing it over and over again, but 6 hits.
No, but when they scan it, you can see the address, right?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't have that type of QR code this time. It was just a general one. So I don't know who it was. I know we have the systems to do that, but I didn't use it on this particular flyer. But yeah, I need to do that on the next one.
Yeah, because the website I use, because right now I didn't use it too much, but it's the website I'm using is from Real Geek. So it comes with a home evaluation page. So I just linked the home evaluation page with that QR code.
Okay.
So basically, when we talk about objection, it's mostly when you try to prospect and when you try to do the presentation. When you prospect, it's sometimes on the phone, sometimes maybe what George is doing when you're door knocking, and also when you do open house. So this past weekend, we did an open house, and you got to ask the right question when you do the open house, because sometimes they don't tell you they have a home to sell. So so it's very important that you ask the questions, so the right questions, so they give you the answer, so they let you know that they have a home to sell. There's hundreds of objections. So if you remember all the objections, then you're not gonna be nervous, because if you don't remember the objections, so anytime there's a new objection, then you're gonna try to fumble around and look for the answers. Then you're gonna feel like you're very nervous, and you're not gonna look like you're the professional. But if you know all the answers, then you can always have the correct response, and you can continue the conversation. Sometimes if you do not have if you don't know how to answer, sometimes the conversation just go into like a dead end. So if that happens, it's kind of hard to save it. Yeah. So so George, what scenario do you want to talk? Do you want to do the practice? You want to do open house, or you want to do on the phone, try to book appointment, or you want?
I can do open house. Like we're doing an open house. That's kind of been my thing, has just been door knocking. I just don't, I mean, for me, I've never really been good on the phone. I think I'm better in person talking to people because I can put a face to the name.
Okay, so I'm assuming you have been to quite a few door knocking, and you already have a whole bunch of objections in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So here's what we'll do. So you'll be acting as the seller, as the person that's answering the door, and basically just pull out all the objections you encountered before. So
okay.
we'll just go through one by one.
Okay.
So let me see, we have 10 people right now. Should we wait a little bit? Let me see. Now it's okay, maybe wait a little bit more. Yeah. So just because I mean that's easy, right? So I mean usually the objection people give to you, you will remember for sure, because you're like damn it, how should I didn't answer it correctly. You probably remember that, right?
Yeah. Oh well, I'm still kind of working on it, and I'm still kind of fumbling around, and it's obviously it's practice, and so I started it last month, so it's just
Yeah, that's all there is to it. It's just practice.
Mhm.
The more you practice, the more objection the handler you remember, the less stressful it's gonna be for you. You know, it's kind of stressful for a lot of people because it's new. You know, it's new to a lot of people. It's not like you're eating, right? It's not like you're driving. If you're driving, you're not gonna be stressed. I'm obviously when you first get into license, when you're trying to learn how to drive, then you're gonna be stressed. But once, you know, as your times goes on and you've been driving for years, then you don't, everything become automatic. So that's the level of how do you say, that's the level of skill you want to have when you talk to the client, where you know, doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what objection they have, they talk to you about, then you always have an answer. So it just takes time. It just takes time and it takes practice. And it doesn't take that long for you to remember, especially because usually it's not like you're trying to remember something on the book, because, you know, when people give it an objection, it's a strong message. You're not going to forget it. So as long as you remember once how to answer that objection, then you're not going to forget it. Then you can use it repeatedly. Anytime in the future when you encounter any kind of similar objections, you can just pull out the answer. And really, you don't need a whole bunch of answers for the objections. You only need the maybe like, even if you just have one handler for each objection, then you're good to go. You don't really need that many objection handlers. Obviously, there's a multiple objection handlers for each objections, but you really only need to remember one. You know, whatever that works for you. So for example, let's say if you have an objection about the price, about the commission, then, you know, like the one I always say is, I always tell them when they object to my commission, I would say, so are you interested in getting more money for your home, or are you interested in, you know, paying lower commission? So so once you remember it, it's just automatic. It's like it's pretty similar to, you know, to the AI machine they're building nowadays. I was watching a documentary on Netflix. They were making all these like sex dolls. The sex dolls, they sell it for like 5,000 to 10,000 each. So the sex dolls they had before, it's just like a fake mannequin. The head cannot do anything. Now they came out with a new upgraded sex doll, where the head is actually can talk. They put some AI into it, so you can. They have a phone application, so you can pick the type of personality you like. So for example, let's say if there's like a 50 personality, you can select a combination. For example, if you like somebody that's bossy and timid at the same time, then you select those two. Or if you like somebody that's nice and trustworthy at the same time, then you select those two characteristics. Then if you select multiple characteristics, so the person will have that kind of combination of personality. That way, whatever you say to them, then they have a response to you. It's the same thing. So actually, so the people, sometimes the people, I mean, that's obviously for different objective. That's to help people to satisfy their desire also. And a lot of people, they buy sex dolls because, you know, they're lonely. They need a companionship. It's pretty much, you know, when they ask something, the AI say something back to them. It's just like the objection handler. You just need to know, you know, what answer to say when they give you objection. And I was watching the documentary. The answer they reply is pretty good. It's pretty authentic. It feels like you're talking to some real person. Obviously not 100%, but it's pretty close. That's the same thing you're doing when you're trying to handle objections. You're basically like a robot. Whenever they say something, try to make the objection, then you just pull up the answer and then you respond to it. All you gotta do is just memorize it. That's the same thing as the AI robots. Because the robots, those AI, those robots, they're not gonna sit there and try to figure out something, right there. They're not doing that. They just pull out whatever that's from their memory. And so basically they listen to what you say, and from the keywords, they know what's the right answer to pick to answer you to give you the correct answer. That's the same thing you're doing. So for example, let's say if the seller have objection, they say, oh, commission is too high. Then ding, in your mind, you hear, okay, commission. Okay, so if the seller have an objection about commission, what should I say? Then you pick, because it's an objection about a commission, then you have in your mind, you already have a couple objection handlers that has something to do with commission objection. Then you just pick one, and then you answer. It's that easy. You just gotta remember. That's all there is to it. Just like somebody say, okay, commission is too high. Then you ask them, so are you worried more about paying more commission, or are you more interested more in getting more money for your home? Okay, 11 past 10. Okay, we're gonna start now. So right now, although we have 15, but we're gonna start. Okay, so George, so whenever you're ready, it's very easy for you. You just, because you already been through a whole bunch of door knocking, just pull up all the objections you got at the door knocking. Then then we just role play. Yeah.
Okay. So I just start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I'm the seller, right?
Yes, you're the seller.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, no, you know what? Thanks for coming to my door. No, at this moment, I want to leave my house with my kids when I pass, to kind of leave on some generational wealth. So we're gonna leave the house to the kids, and they can do what they want. So, but thank you.
Wow, that's a very admirable thing to do. So let me ask this question: what, after you leave your house to the kid, are they gonna live in it? Do they already have a house or no?
The current, well, one's in college, one got married, they have their own house. But I really want this to be something that they can use to maybe rent out to others, so they can have revenue coming in after we're gone. So this would be something that I can leave to my kids.
But with equity you have in a house, if they just rent it out, the return is super low, right? It's only 2%. That means you have all the equity sitting there doing nothing. 2% means that it's gonna take you 50 years to get the money back. That's not a good investment for them though.
Okay, well, I mean that I'm just gonna let them decide. I know they can handle. Right now, all I care about is I want to live here with my wife, and if we pass, but I don't want to. I want to live. I want to leave this here, and I understand the 2% deal, but I think it's better maybe they can deal with it while I'm gone.
I understand. So basically, obviously, if you're gonna live here, you're not gonna move, because you do need a place to stay. So how long do you plan to live here? Have you had any plan to move somewhere? Because I mean you have a big house. I mean, I know people sometimes they have a different plan when they come to different stage of life. Like, how long do you plan to continue to live here?
Well, hopefully I can stay here for the rest of my life.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, all right. Thank you for taking the time to talking with me, and good luck with everything with your kids. Okay, thank you. So you're not gonna twist everybody's arm to have them sell. Yeah. They have to really want to generally have the desire to sell the home. So when you said you're gonna give it to your kids, what did I say?
That you mentioned about how the rate of return is lower, which is something I've never really thought about, which is true. Okay. It is lower. And then also that same conversation happened, but they also obviously that was a harder question, or you can't really twist their arms like you said, but there's other people that maybe, so I was like, yeah, maybe in like 5 to 6 years, I'm thinking about moving to Tennessee.
Okay.
That's another.
Okay, let's continue on this.
Okay.
Okay. So can you say that again? The Tennessee?
Yeah. So yeah, you know what, the wife and I, we're thinking about moving. You know, we're in our 60s. We want to kind of slow it down a bit, and we're thinking about moving to Tennessee, but maybe like in 5 years. So she retires in about 2 years, but maybe in 5 years we'll think about it.
So you're gonna plan to move to Tennessee in 5 years? Okay.
Yes.
Why 5 years?
No, 5 years. She'll be retired in 2 years. I'm already retired now. We want to make sure that our kids are done with college, and life is a little bit calmer for us to move on. So we estimate that time would probably be around 5 years.
Have you guys already bought a home in Tennessee?
No, we haven't at the moment, but we know we want to live there. But that's pretty much our timeline.
So if you do sell, what's most important for you?
Well, if we do sell, obviously having more money to have to pull out from the sale of our home.
Okay.
And like everyone says, the best investment is in real estate, and it's during the long term will go up. So I think my house may be worth even more in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's possible, but the interest rate has been, increasing. I don't know if you're aware of that. That's what's going on in the news nowadays. So the market has been growing a lot. I mean, we're now pretty much at the top of the market. I understand that you got your plans to move in 5 years, but you also told me that what's most important for you is getting the most money for the home. I don't know if selling 5 years later is going to be, going to be able to help you to get the most money for your home.
Okay. Well, I'll have to think about it and see. Maybe we can pull out money now and move into a smaller place and then move later.
Yeah, exactly. There's actually many options, right? You can sell it now. You can put the money on, buy in Tennessee. There's multiple options. If you want to think about this a little bit more in depth, I wouldn't mind come back and share with you the multiple programs we have that we can help you to, number one, get the most money for your home, and number two, you don't have to move at this time, and number three, you can get a home in Tennessee with a good price. And what's good about it is that since you don't have to make the decision today because your plan is to move 5 years later, that way you're not going to be forced to make any decision. We can talk about it. That's all I'm going to do. We can talk about it. We can sit down. We can go through all the options, and you don't have to make any decision today. So you're not pressured to make any decision. We're just going to go through the different options to see which option can help you to get what you want.
Okay, that sounds. It doesn't hurt to talk, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
When's a good time? Today or tomorrow?
Ooh, that's quick.
Well, like I said earlier,
let's talk tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow. We'll set a time.
Okay, tomorrow morning, afternoon.
Afternoon would be better.
Afternoon. Okay, 1
At
1 p.m. or 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay, yeah. So like I said, George, we're just gonna go through all the options with you, and that way you can see clearly which option will be the best option for you. You do not need to make any decision right there and now, because I heard you that you wanted to make the move 5 years later. That way, at least you can have the option to look through all the options and probably make a educated. Not educated, but have a clear decision, have a clear mind to see which option is the best option for you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, at 2.
Great, thank you.
Okay, any other scenario that happened with you before?
Another scenario. um, I I know. So what I do is when I pull lists, when I really prepare to go door knocking, I pull people's names,
Okay.
and I ask for them by name, so it kind of eases the barrier, right? It's just not some stranger. But I know someone answered the door one time, and I knew it was them. But they said, "Oh, the owners of the house aren't here. I'm renting." I'm like, "Oh, I'm thinking, oh, you just said this is the Hernandez household."
Yeah, that's sometimes people think that's kind of creepy, you know what I mean? Because they're like you just knock on the door out of nowhere and you already know their name. So
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's creepy because like I've done that for like elections, right? You knock on the door, "Hi, can I talk to Ray Chen?" It's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Ray." Hey. Well, it's public record.
but that's a little bit different though, because when you're running for
Okay.
election, you're like a public figure. You're people they already know who you are. They have more trust in
Yeah.
you. But when you're a real estate broker, yeah. So what objection?
Does it come up? Okay. All right.
What objection did they give you?
No, they just said like, "Oh, the owner's not here," when I know it was them. But another objection was, oh, I had someone tell me, and I think I handled it pretty well. So they said that, "Oh, you know what, it's like, honestly, we're thinking about selling, but the thing is, it's like I probably don't need an agent. I can sell it on my own. My wife's an attorney. She'd do the paperwork, and it's like I just have to hire a professional photographer, put some nice photos on Zillow, and I'll be able to sell it very quickly."
What did you say?
So, and I said, and I asked him, "Well, what do you do, sir?" And I forgot what he did. I forgot what exactly he did, but I was like, "Well, I mean, you obviously, I would call you for your services because you're a professional, and I understand your wife's an attorney, and that's great. But what kind of law does she practice?" Like, "Oh, she practices family law." It's like, "Okay, well, if I had an issue with family law, I would pay her for her services." And that's exactly what you're doing for us. Is, we know exactly how the market operates. We know exactly what's going to get you top dollar for your home. It's really negotiating terms for what's best for you. And so then I kind of fumbled a bit. It's like, "Well, I think we can do a good job." And it's like, I was like, "Well, I'm sure you probably could, but I've been doing it. I've been doing this for a while now, and we've been able to get very good results for a lot of our clients." So it's like, "Okay, well, I'll review it and I'll take a look at it." And so I have his name and I have his address. I'm gonna put him on a drip campaign. But other than that, yeah, I just kind of walked away.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good answer. So here's the problem with feasibles, like for sale by owners. Usually they want to do it on their own, and usually when they find that it's not working, then they try to go look for a realtor. Okay, so we'll do it again. So you'll be the seller, and so basically we're gonna be act like they want to sell that on their own. Okay, go ahead when you're ready.
All right. Well, thank you for your information. Yeah, we're thinking about selling our house maybe in the next 6 to 8 months, but honestly, it doesn't look that hard to sell a house. My wife's an attorney, and she can do the paperwork. I can plug it into Zillow and do professional photography, and so like I think we know what to do, how to sell it. But thank you for offering.
I understand. So what's most important for you guys in selling the home?
Well, obviously, is to get the most money, especially in this market. It's people are paying like crazy, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Get the most money. Okay. I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you're aware. The data shows that the people that sell their home on their own, on average, they get 26% less money versus when they sell the home with a realtor. That's that's a hard fact. If you want to look it up, you can look up the statistics. So if you're telling me on the one hand you want to get the most money, but on the other hand you want to sell yourself, the data shows that if you sell yourself, you're not gonna get as much money versus if you work with a realtor. So knowing this,
Yeah,
go ahead. Yeah.
I can probably see that, but so quite honestly though, I think I'm a pretty smart person. I know my wife's an attorney. We can put something up even without a realtor. It's maybe these are people that just don't know much about housing, but I think I know a fair amount as being part of this neighborhood for years, and I can run my own numbers and I can see how much my neighbors sold their house for. So
I understand. I can definitely see that you guys are both, educated. You're professional, so you have a lot of experience. I do have because I've been in this industry for many years. So there are programs that we can deploy that can get you, at least 5% more money for your home. I'm not trying to sell you anything. So since I know you're trying to sell your home and you plan to sell your home, I wouldn't mind to go over the programs that we use that help us to get at least 5% more money for the sellers. If you're open to hear me out, I'd be glad to come over and share with you guys. I'm not looking for a listing, even if you don't sign with me, that's fine. But I'm open to share with you. If you want to find out how to get more money for your home, at least 5% for your home, I'm open to share with you. Does that sound good to you?
that's you're better than I did. yeah, that sounds good. But I'm telling you, you can talk to us, and I'll let the wife know you can talk to us. But I really think we'll be able to do it on our own. But I have no problem talking to you. So we'll set up a time later tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. This is what I do. I don't mind to spend some time with you guys to go through it. So when's a good time? Today or tomorrow?
Tonight would be good. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay, I'll see you and your wife tonight at 5. Remember, we're just gonna go through the options that I use to get more money for the client. You don't have to make a decision. You don't have to feel like forced to do something with to sign anything. Don't feel pressured. So I'm gonna go through the options with you. Okay. Okay. I'll see you today at 5.
All right. Cool. Okay.
So what did I do? What did I say?
Well, you came off a little bit. You came off non-threatening. Like, look, I'm just trying to present this information for you. You don't have to go with me if you don't want. I'm just going to present you this information. There's facts that you want to use me, great. But let's just have that dialogue.
Yeah.
But it was very non-threatening as well, and everything. You're very nice.
What did I do before that?
And you also complimented them, which is good.
Okay.
And then you told them that you can get more money for their house.
Okay.
More money than they probably think they can get.
Okay. What else did I do before that?
Before that, you gave statistics about the 26%.
Yes. Yeah. What else before that?
And then
okay, I asked them what's most important for you.
having the most money.
Yeah. So because I want to figure that out, right? I want to figure out what's most important for them. That way I can go after that, right? Because
okay.
it's in most cases people want to get more money, but sometimes maybe not, right? So I want to make sure of that. So that's why I asked what's most important for you.
Okay.
So once you told me, you said, okay, I want to get the most money. Then once you tell me you want to get the most money, then bam, I got you, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because as soon as you say you want to get most money, then I come out with that statistics. Hey, you know what? Data shows, people that sell their home on their own, they actually sell their home for 26% less than versus if they sell the home with the agent.
Okay. What's the so you mentioned, I understand that most people want to get the most money, but what's another item that people want outside of
it's usually
money?
usually 3 things. Okay, it's usually money, speed, and the hassle.
Okay.
Right. So if you obviously the best outcome would be highest money, fastest time, and the least hassle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So for people's options, some people, I mean, obviously most people, they're interested in getting more money, but there are some people they're, interested in the speed. Like for example, so I sold a home in Rancho Cucamonga. It's a tri-level home. So the wife has a knee problem, and the master bedroom is on the 3rd level. So to them, the speed would be pretty important because the wife can keep going up and down stairs every day. Right? So in that scenario, obviously everybody would like to get the most money, but in that scenario, the speed is probably important for them too, because they want to quickly sell the home and move to a place where it's 1 level, where the wife have more mobility, right? So that's why I know sometimes. I think that's the problem a lot of agents they have, is they try to make assumptions. So when you make assumptions, there is a chance that you might not, be on the same page as the seller. So that's what you want, right? That's why I ask that question always. I always ask that question: what's most important for you? Because I want to make sure before I talk any further, I'm on the same page as the seller. Yeah. So yeah, that's the problem. That's the mistake a lot of agents make, is that they talk so much, blah, 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 but they never get on the same page as the seller. Because I mean, they can talk all they want, but then at the end, they still don't know that what they're talking about is not any of the interests that the seller is, interested in. So that's why you always want to make sure what's most important for you. Then, because it's very simple. Okay, the reason I want to ask that question is because if you know what's most important to them, then you can give it to them. If you're not sure, or if you don't know what's most important to them, how can you give it to them? You cannot, right? Let's say if they want orange, you give them an apple. You're not gonna get the deal done. It's not gonna be a deal. You're not gonna get the deal, because the orange is not what they wanted. They want an apple. I actually tell them this too. I say, do you know why I spend all this time, chatting with you? Because I want to make sure I do a good job. I want to make sure, I communicate with you clearly. That way, I know exactly what you want. So, for example, if you want apple, I make sure I can give you apple. I don't want to be like, you want an apple, I give you orange. That's why I spend all this time to go through the details to make sure to understand exactly what you want. Any other objections you remember from door knocking?
No, but I'm sure this is probably going to come up. It's like, what, we want to move, but we don't know if now is the time, because the housing market is just so crazy, and I don't want to end up homeless if we can't sell our house, or if we can't get anywhere and we end up selling our house. I don't want to be rushed into a situation where we're trying to look, and we're in pending escrow on our home and we can't get in anywhere. So it's maybe just now's just not a good time.
That's a fair worry, especially with the home price, how crazy it is. But we actually have a couple options where we can get your home sold, and you don't have to move twice. You only have to move once. If you want to, find out how exactly we can get that done for you, we can set up a time and I can go through it in detail with you. That way you can take advantage of the current market, get the best price, and avoid the possibility of losing money when you sell later, because interest rates increasing like crazy. So it's just a matter of time before the price is going to go down. So what I'm saying is we have those options to help you get the home sold now, to get that high price, and also move to another home and without having to move twice. Does that sound beneficial to you?
That sounds good, because I've heard of stories of people being an escrow in their home and they couldn't get into another home, and their deals didn't go through. So I'd love to hear what programs you're talking about, because I haven't heard of anything.
Okay, so when's a good time? Today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow's good at 2:00.
Okay, all right. I'll see you tomorrow too. Okay.
Yeah, that one hasn't happened, but I'm sure it probably will happen.
That's a common objection. So
Yeah.
what did I say there?
It was just more putting them at ease, and it's just letting them know. Maybe someone hasn't talked to them about what programs are out there, to to make sure that they don't end up, I guess, homeless. um, but yeah, it's just to let them know, look, you listen to their concern. What are they looking for? They want to make sure that they have a house before moving out of their next one. That they only have to move once, not twice.
Okay, so if you notice, like we've been through like what, how many objections? Like 4?
4.
Okay, if you notice, what's the common thread for all this? How I answered all these objections?
You listen to what they want.
Okay,
You're listening to what they want, and you're giving them the opportunity to just educate them as to what's going on.
okay. What else?
Um,
So all I'm doing is I'm just finding out what they want, and then I'm just telling them what I can give them what they want. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's just a different objection. I mean, it's just a different content, but the structure is the same. I ask you what you want, and then I tell you I can get you what you want. Then that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't have any more objection for the open house. If you want to do more objections for the presentation, we can do that. Or if somebody else have more objection, we can do that too. Have you been to any? I think you've been to a couple of presentations before, right?
Me, yeah, I've been part of presentations before. I don't do, well, I want to start doing the presentations now, because it was usually my partner Stuart that did them. I just kind of sat there and listened, because I'm still kind of fairly new. I get, well, not new, but yeah.
You guys got a listing, right? I saw the on the TikTok.
Yeah. That one was, that one's in East LA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a triplex.
Okay. Do you have any objections for the presentation that you want to go through?
No, actually, that one, the objection was the tenants. We had a tenant that there was a family member, and they didn't want to move, but we were able to talk to them and include them, because our goal is to include the tenants in the situation, so they feel like they're part of the sale. So we met with every single one, and we came up with, and we were upfront, honest, and we came up with when we can do an open house. So we actually got 2 days. We got a Saturday and a Sunday open house, where they can leave for 4 hours each day and come back. So we were able to manage to do that.
That's pretty good. Usually that's the biggest obstacle.
Yeah. So we worked. We physically went there. We had to wait a whole day on a Sunday. We were there for 6 hours because they all had different times.
How did you guys get them agreed to do the open house?
The good thing is the lady that owned, she passed away, but she just was really good to them, and I think they were just like, all right, well, let us know. And we were honest with them, like what could happen, the scenarios that could happen. And yeah, it was actually easier than I thought. I was surprised. One of them didn't want to return our calls for a while, until I physically had to knock on the door and catch her there, and just let her say, hey, like, this is, we're not trying to evict you. We're already going to have one unit that's going to be vacant in the back by June. We'll let the buyers know, who's ever buying it, to know that you'll continue to live here, and you guys have to talk about what you have to do, and what's going to happen moving forward. Will your rent go up? Possibly. Your rent's probably going to go up. And we were just straight up and honest with them, and it's like, okay, well, she was fine. So yeah, it was strangely odd that everyone was on the same page, and it was easier than I anticipated. So I got lucky.
So why did you get lucky?
I think we were because the first tenant always had her arms crossed like this. And we were trying to break that barrier. So we were trying to, we try to answer all her concerns. We were listening to like, okay, what do you need? Exactly what you said. And her need was like, well, we need time since we're gonna have to move out of here. We can't close in late April or May. We need June. It's like, okay, that's fine. And we asked the executor of the trust, is June's okay? That's fine. It's like, okay, first week of June we'll be out. It's like, okay, now they've been a lot better working with us on the deal, and so they're clearing everything out. They're making progress, and she's been nicer with she's been good with us on the phone.
So basically, you addressed her concerns.
Correct. I addressed her concerns. We gave her all the time that she needed. We extended the timeline out 1 month. And then we since she's the main one that's moving, we made sure that we got the times that she wanted first in terms of having the open house and everything. And then we took that time and we found a time within those times that would fit the other two. And that's how we came up with those open house dates. So.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So the key to booking any appointment is to give them what they want. Give them what they want. The key to sign the contract is to remove all their risk. To answer all their questions and remove all the risk they have in their mind. If you do not remove all the risk, then they will not sign the paperwork. Mm-hmm. Okay. George, do you have more objections, or anybody else have any more objections?
I don't have any other, unless others do.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else want to volunteer? So you're not going to be the agent, so don't worry about being put on the spot. You're just going to be the client. You're just going to be the seller, and so whatever objections you have encountered before, it could be any. Hello.
Hey, can I present 2 objections here?
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Pretend I'm the seller.
Yes.
Okay. So
you're on the iPhone. What's your name?
Oh, Chelsea.
Chelsea. Okay. All right.
Okay. So I really want to listen with you, but my wife told me we want waiting for probably June and July. Want to sell this property, this rental property.
Oh, why is that?
We because as you indicate, this property, the current market value is around like 900K. But my wife wants sold that one to probably 1.1 million. We believe when July coming, the market should be, the value should be 1.1 million.
That's a possibility. So basically, you're thinking you can get more money if you wait for a couple months.
Yes, yeah, because it's rental property, so we have tenant living there. So I have flexibility. I really don't need to sell right away.
Okay, are they gonna leave by June? The tenants?
Yes. The lease is expired on June or July, but they're flexible. They can be renewed, or they can be this term is they can terminate also. Okay,
so you were on the market before. Did you get any offers before when you were on the market?
I just want to, I think you're right, because you are saying we can sell this property probably 900K, but I strongly believe if waiting for a few more months we can sell the property in 1.1 million. Probably I can get more because market still go up, I believe.
Okay. So here's the situation, okay? So before you make the appointment, never tell them the price.
Okay.
Never. You do not want to discuss the price before you go to the presentation, because when you say the price, then this is the outcome is gonna be. Because the reason it's kind of hard right now is because what you're telling them is not what they want. So not only you do not talk about the price when you book the appointment, also you never talk about the price. You never give them a price. The price has to always come from the seller. Never. You should never tell them how much your home is worth. Never. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but this was during presentation.
Okay, so you already went to the listing presentation, right?
Yes, we already have very good chit chat already.
Okay, so now let's do the presentation again, and you'll be the seller, I'll be the agent. So we're gonna do the part where they kept asking about the price. Okay, can you do that?
Yeah, this is after after I finish presentation, ask them to sign the listing agreement, and they talk about listing the price too low.
Okay, so at this point, there's nothing we can do. That's why we need to go back. So we'll start from the beginning, talk about the price, and let's do that. You'll be the seller, I'll be the agent. Okay.
Okay. So so can you tell us what's the house value right now? How much I can sell this for?
Before I came here, I did a study, and I have a pretty good idea how much your home is going to be worth. How much do you think is? Let me ask this question: if I can bring you a cash buyer tomorrow with a full suitcase of cash and close in 5 days, how much would you sell?
I will sell. I don't know. First, I don't know it's probably or not, but we had number in our mind. We thought about probably 1.1 million something net. When we reach that target, we're going to sell. If we're not, we're not going to sell.
Okay, so basically you're saying if you get 1.1, then you will sell. Anything lower than that, you won't sell, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. 1.1. Here's the thing. Okay, I'll be straight with you. The market is changing because the interest rate has increased. If you do want to get a highest price, now is probably the best time to get the highest price. But the price you want, I can be straight with you, is a little bit higher than the market price. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get higher price if you wait, because the interest rate has already started to increase. But what I can tell you is, here's the situation. If you're willing to sell the home at a market price, anybody can do it for you. You can get any agent and they're going to sell it for you. But because the price you want is a little bit higher than the market price, I think I'm your best option. That can get you the price you want. I know, most sellers have a lot of friends that are agents. If you want a market price, you can get any of your friends to sell for you. But because the price you want right now is a little bit higher than the market, I think I'm your best chance to get that price for you.
So you think you can sell the house for us like 1.1 now in 30 days?
Well, whether how soon you sell the home versus how much you can get, there's a relation, right? If the higher the price you want, the longer it's going to take to sell. So let's say if you wanted to sell at market price or below market, there's a two-step process. We have two prices, right? There's a price we're going to market the property, then there's a price we're going to get the home, sell the home at the price you want. Let's say if you want this higher price, if you also want to list it at this higher price, it's gonna be very difficult. Let's say if you want this higher price and if you list at a lower price, there may be a chance that you can get that higher price. But if you list it from the beginning and list on the market with this price you want to get, then it's not the likelihood of you're gonna get the price you want is not very high. So here's my suggestion for you. Okay, so since you wanted this price and this price is higher than the market price, because we have the multiple programs, we can get you multiple offers. That's why we can get you at least 5% more money than compared to the average realtors. So since this is the price you want, I'm the person that has the best chance to get you the price you want. And because it's important for you to get this price, I suggest you not to wait, because the interest rate has already increased. Just by waiting, I don't think it's going to help you to get higher price. If you wait, the interest rate wants to go up, I think you're actually going to get less price for your home. Because I already see, I have a close I'm observing the market very closely. I already see that the activity is kind of slowed down a little bit because the interest rate and the price has cut going up. So if your objective, so am I correct that you said that the most important thing for you is to get the highest price you want? That's the most important for you?
Yes.
Okay, so if that's what's the most important for you, then I suggest you to, then the best option for you is to sell it now versus later. And because I have the multiple programs, I can get you at least 5% more money because we can get more offers for you. So, I think that's probably the best bet for you. Is that helpful for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I got it. Yeah, thank you so much. So Jay can present second case here.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. The second case is I'm the listening, I'm the seller. So I already, has put the house on sale 3 times with 3 different agents.
Okay.
And all the 3 different agents, so, but I only give them like 10 days or 20 days to sell. So I call you. It's not like, it's not like you call them, I call you, because I already know Chen Ray, very well. So I call you, say,
Yeah.
I said, hi, Ray, I got your number. I know you're pretty good as a buyer agent.
Okay.
I have a house I want to sell, but I have very bad experience with a 3 listing agent right now.
Okay.
And I don't want to marry to any listing agent anymore. I just want somebody can have truly buyers, bring to me. And because I have very bad experience, because the previous listing agent, one of the agents saying he has over 20 years or 30 years working experience, but when we put the market for 2 weeks, there's no, basically he scrapped my experience. So, and now, so I don't want to sign any disagreement. But if you can sell my house, about like 1.7 million, I will give you 6% commission. If you can bring the buyer, give me the between the 1.5 to 1.7, I will give you 4% commission. So you will own both sides of commission. How that sounds to you?
So let me clarify. Let me make sure I understand what you want. So you're saying you will only work with the agent for 2 weeks?
Not really, but my previous experience with a 3 listing agent, I canceled that one because I saw they actually did not do their work. For one of them, he promised a lot, but after the signed, I don't think he did anything there. So one of them, I give them 1 month because they are able to promise me they can sell that one in 7 days, or 2 weeks somehow, but actually it's not.
So what's the ideal outcome you're looking for? The ideal outcome?
I'm looking to sell my house as soon as possible because I have a retirement plan already. But I also want to sell this house as soon as possible, as much as I could. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to sell as soon as possible and get as much money as you could.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. We definitely have the multiple programs that can get you the most offers because that's the only way you can get the most money. The only way you can get the most money for your home is when we have multiple offers. Would you be interested in finding out, the programs that we can help you to get the multiple offers?
Oh yes, of course. I'm interested. I'm very flexible. But you can show my house to anybody at any time. I have only one requirement. Before you're showing, you have to give me that buyer's proof fund. As long as you can bring the buyers, to my door and accept it to me, I give you from 4% to 6% commission.
Okay.
But I will not send this agreement to you. I warn you.
Okay. I understand. So you want me to bring you the proof of funds to each buyer that I bring to you before you're willing to show the home?
Oh yes, yes, because I don't want, open house or something. Sometimes open house is just neighbors come in, just, I don't have party in my house.
Okay. But if I remember correctly, you do want to get the most money for your home, right?
Yes.
Okay. Remember I shared with you earlier, the most efficient way to get the most money for your homes is to get the most offers, right?
If you can get me one offer, to prove, you have buyers, I'm very happy.
I can bring you an offer. I can bring you an offer any day. But the problem is the offer I bring you is the kind of offer you want. The reason we can get you multiple, get you at least 5% more money for your home is because we have different programs where we can get you more offers. So I think the problem here we have now is you want to get what you want, but you also want to dictate, what's the exact step that's going to involve to get you what you want. But let me ask you this question. What's your job? Like, are you a realtor?
I'm working, no, I'm working on the sales. So I know all the tricks about the sales.
Okay. How many homes have you sold before?
Oh, I'm not a realtor. I'm working on the sales industry for some other products.
I understand. Okay. So you want to get the most money for your home, but you want to control every process of the home sales. What if, let me share this with you. What if I have some programs where we can deploy and we can get you more money? Would you be open to, to check out how that program works?
Yeah, of course. But like I said, I already married and divorced with 3 listing agents. So, everybody totally present, they have different programs. I really don't care, what kind of programs you are. And only thing I care is, I will coordinate with you, but, bring buyers in, I will pay your commissions, but I'm not going to sign this agreement.
You don't need to sign an agreement. I'm just trying to show you how we can get the money you want.
Okay, no, I'm interested in show me how.
Okay, so it's kind of hard to explain that over the phone. So when's a good time we can meet and talk about share with you the programs, how we can get you more money?
Yeah, sure. Anytime we can meet today, if you want.
Okay.
I have time.
Okay, today, 1 or 2 p.m. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And after that one, after his phone call, he's really rich because he's talked about he has another big house. He going to Florida to take he has a private jet somehow. It's a very beautiful house. It's very good, but the problem is he is really experienced to know how to deal with the agents. So his problem is no matter what you said, he's very stubborn. He said, you know what, I don't care as long as you bring me the buyers. That's his bottom line.
Okay, yeah, there are people like that. So so usually how I deal with that is when people are like that, so I try to show them that just by bringing the buyer, it's not gonna get them what they want. But I know there's some people that are very stubborn. If you tell them, hey, just by bringing a buyer, it's not gonna get what you want. If they're open to other options, then there's more we can talk about. If that's all they're insisting on, then I don't know if there's anything you can do. But what's important is at least, so basically a lot of times the mistake people make is that they're trying to commingle the appointment booking process and the presentation process. So don't commingle that. So make sure so it's 2-step process, right? So first you try to book the appointment first. So when you talk to them on the phone, your goal is to book the appointment, is not to do the presentation. So because you need to get in front of their face first. So once you get in front of their face, then you have more opportunity to try to to convert them.
Yeah, but the problem is after the presentation, that seller continue calling me to follow up. He actually he want you to do the work. He want you to do the marketing work, but because he said, Ray, for example, after the patient, he trusts you, he actually likes you. You can tell, because he calling you. You did not call him. He continued calling you.
Okay.
He said, and he talked to you over the phone, he don't want to hang out. He want to do a lot of other stuff also. He really likes you. He said, Ray, for example, after the presentation, he said, Ray, I really like your program. And, like the last time you said, you have this one. Do you have any buyer's response? Can you show can you bring the offer to me? After a couple of days, he follow up with you. What are you going to do here?
Okay, there's a couple things you can do. Okay. Number one, never do any work without any contract.
Okay.
You will only do the work if you have the contract. Okay. There's one option to get around it. It's kind of a gray area. I don't know if the company is going to agree, but there are some people, they're very scared of commitment. So there are some sellers, they don't feel comfortable signing any paperwork. So I actually listed a couple of listings without them signing the paperwork. So what I do is, so I saw the home in Stanton before. So I met with him, and after went through the presentation, he liked what I had to say, just like what you said about the seller. But he said, I mean, it all looks good, but I don't want to sign anything. Then I said, okay. So I said, I understand you don't want to sign any paperwork, but would you give us the permission to market your property? He said, yeah, of course, you can market all you want. Then I asked him, I said, would you let us to market your home on MLS too? He said, okay, yeah, whatever you want. You can do anything you want to market. Then I said, okay. Then I said, I'm going to text you. So, okay, since you don't want to sign the paperwork, I'm going to text you, for example, you as the seller, you give us permission to market property, including listed on the MLS. Can you text me yes? Then he did that. So I'm not recommending you to do this, but I have sold a couple homes this way. Some sellers, they just do not want to sign any paperwork. If they agree to reply yes on a text message and give them permission to market, then that's another way to get around it.
His problem, yes. Thank you so much for this detail. But I want to share the further discussion with you. Yeah. His case is he already signed 3 times listing agreement. So he already put on MLS 3 times, which make his case really bad because for MLS, it's like he was canceled that one after 3 days on market. The second time is canceled after 7 days. The third time he was canceled after 2 weeks there. So looks like this guy, he has no problem he already signed the listing agreement with 3 different listing agents there. Mm-hmm. And the way he's talking, like, he has dealing with the, different type of agent already, like the new agent or the very experienced agent already. And his problem is, he's a working salespeople, so he has a lot of sales skills and also. So if that's the case, do you recommend I still take the case, take this, because I think, the problem is, I was very honest to him. I said, you married 3 times and divorced 3 times. There's something wrong with you also. Okay. So after see that one, he actually likes me more because I'm the person very straightforward. I said, your case is he continued saying you're listening to Scrub. I said, fine. Every time when the husband divorces a wife, they always say, another party has a problem. But it's also prove you have serious problem. Why you married 3 times? Why you make commitments 3 times and divorce 3 times? It also means you have serious problem. And I don't want to waste my time there. Yeah. I said, so please don't call me. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Go ahead. So when I see that, he become salespeople, very, very nice to me. He said, oh, Chelsea, can you give me some sales direction here? Can you tell me what should I do here? I said, your problem is you don't trust anybody anymore. And I don't want this time to educate you also. I don't want to go to your house to see that one because I'm pretty sure, the 3 people, if they're not able to sell their house, in 1 month, there must be something wrong with you or with that house. I don't want to find out because my time is so tight.
Okay, so there is a couple scenario, right? So there's only two scenario you will spend time on the client. Scenario one is they sign the listing contract, okay? Scenario two is they allow you to market the property.
They do.
Yeah.
But you still think we need to go for it? Yeah.
Okay.
Because I confused about this guy. I don't know
Okay.
what the guy's doing there.
So here's the thing. If they don't allow you to put on MLS, then you should not waste any time.
Okay.
As long as they allow you to put the home on the MLS, then you're okay. Because if they just, all they're saying is, oh, just bring the buyers, bring me the buyers, you know, then you don't have anything to work with. As long as they agree, allow you to put the home on the MLS, then you can spend time to work on the deal. If not, then, you know, that's your call. Then, you know.
Okay, thank you. So your recommendation is still, if he's not allow us to put on MS, then it's this our time to work there, right?
I mean, it's your call because you know, because it's everybody's time is limited. It's I mean, everybody made that mistake before. I made that mistake before too. You know, those people, they don't want to do anything with you. They don't want to sign anything with you. They just want you to do the free work.
I think if I push him, he was done. I had that feeling because he's calling me, you know, a couple of times, getting me really mad, you know.
Yeah, because right now he already has the trust in you.
Yes, because he probably, you know, he found out that I'm the only one to be really rude there, probably. You know?
Okay, so here's what you can do: book another appointment, go back and meet with him, and sign a contract with him. If he doesn't sign the contract, if he doesn't want to, go ahead.
I have a question here. Okay, just slow down here a little bit. So let's say he signed the contract, but I have a question to this guy. This guy was lying to me. Because even he wants to sign a contract, I don't want to sell because I saw the past three agents. I checked their background. I know that three agents very well. I know at least one of them are very good. So I told him, I said, you have to, before I even want interest in your house, you have to answer me question. My general question is, this question will be determined I want to continue this conversation with you or not. And he asked me, what's the question? I said, can you tell me how many showings or how many buyers you have been showing your house for? And you know, because you have some three listing agents, and why you don't have any offers, or why it was failed? What's the reason for that you cancel 3 times here? Because I want to know what's the problem with this guy.
Okay, here's the solution. Okay, so we go back there again because you pretty much have the deal. It just depending on how you work it. Okay, so you go back there. Here's what you do. Okay, you persuade him to sign the contract, and you tell him the contract must be 3 months. It cannot be 1 month or 2 weeks. Okay, the contract must be 3 months. But at the same time you're signing the contract, I'm gonna give you a cancellation guarantee. So that means you should feel comfortable to work with me. Give me the time, give me the room, give me the space to help you, to assist you to get the home sold. But at any given time, you're not comfortable with me, you think I'm a liar, whatever you don't like, you can cancel anytime. But at least promise me that you're gonna give me the space to do what I need to do to get your home sold. But at the same time, you will have a peace of mind that I'll give you a cancellation guarantee right now. That way, anytime you do not think I'm doing it correctly, you can cancel me anytime.
But the key there is I don't have confidence. I don't want to be the first people to get divorced there. So I told this guy, I said, you know what?
It's not about confidence. The reason he's canceling people is because he doesn't want to get stuck. So that's why I tell you, when you were signing the contract, you asked for a long contract, 3 months regular contract. But
what happened if I sign and then after 2 weeks and then he canceled again? and I will become first people in MIS got that house was
Doesn't
canceled.
matter. Doesn't matter. That's something you don't need to worry about. You know, the key is to get the listing signed and somehow have him give you enough time to get the job done. To calm him down, then you will sign a cancellation guarantee and give it to him. That way he doesn't have to feel, you know, the urge to cancel you, because he can cancel you anytime. You know what I mean, right? Do you know what the cancellation guarantee is?
But I reject him again. I said, you know, you know what, you know, there's 6 cents of the woman, professional woman. He asked me, what's the 6 cents of professional woman? I said, the 6 cents professional woman is if we meet some guy who married and divorced 3 times in 1 month, we will run away far away from that guy.
This is not a marriage. Doesn't matter. You're not losing anything. Just sign a contract, give him cancellation, ask him to agree to work with you for at least 3 months. Even if you waste 3 months' time, you're not losing anything, and you get a free advertisement because you have the for sale sign, you have the publicity online.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, I got it. So yeah, so you're saying is even probably you know the predict results is not that good, but we still it's no loss from my side.
Yeah. Okay. The number 1 best outcome, you sign the listing, the home sold. The number 2 best outcome, you sign the listing, it stay there for 3 months. You didn't make commission, but it's still advertisement. Obviously, we're not trying to do that on purpose, you know, but sometimes things do happen. The number 3 outcome is you sign it and he cancels you after 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's still better than nothing. You still have some publicity, you still have some advertisement. So it's always better to do it because you don't lose anything. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Ray.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else have? This is very good. See what Chelsea just went through. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know, you're working out there with a different seller. You know, there's many different kind of a particular obstacles or problems you run into. Remember, there's always more solution than the problem. Okay, there's always more solution than the problem. Never become an order taker. Never become a robot. There's a lot of people that they're like robots. You know, somebody give them objection, they just run away. Oh, you cannot do this. Oh, I'm gonna run away. Don't do that. When somebody give you objection, think about what could be the solution be. There's always a solution. No matter what objection there is, there's always a solution. Okay.
Ray, may I ask a question? So if you said if someone they don't want to sign the listing contract, but if they like by text message they agree you to advertise on MLS, then you can put on MLS. But then on listing agent, you can put like yourself as listing agent or either just like normal.
I'm not saying you can do it, but that's your call. Okay, that's not 100% legal. That's just you know, if they really don't want to sign it, that's something you could think about. I'm not encouraging.
I know. So what do you do? Like just put there and yeah, the worst case is they say, oh, you have to I don't know. So because you have to fill in those, you know, those forms and in MLS, and they have so many, you have to put something there, right?
What do you mean? Put what?
Yeah, like basically what do you put, like when they ask like the relationship between you and seller is like exclusive or something like that.
So you know, all those questions, that's depending on you. Whether you're gonna take a listing like that, whether you're gonna, what kind of relation you're gonna pick, that's depending on you. Because so this is like going into contract law. You know, I'm not an attorney. But, obviously, the best scenario is they sign a contract. Then you have 100% exclusivity, right? If they don't sign the contract, then they reply a text message saying they allow you to, they give you the opportunity to market on MLS. They say yes, then that's in writing too. It's just not in the contract. But this is like a gray area. I cannot really tell you 100% yes or no. It's just because the company have different policy too, so it's just your call. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, thank you.
Because there are people, they don't like to sign contracts. There are people like that. They want to sell, they like you, they think you can get the job done for them, and they want you to market the home for them, but they just don't want to sign a contract. There are people like that. It happened to me like at least 4 or 5 times already. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead, Chris.
I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. So there's either you are making a trying to book appointment, or you're going to a listing presentation. So most of the objections are so there's an objection about not wanting to sign the paperwork. There's objection about not wanting to sell at an overpriced, or there's objection about commission. There's objection about timing. So it's not an unlimited amount of objections. The number of objections is finite. So if you could remember all the objections, then you could respond to the objections effectively, quickly. Anybody else have any objections?
Actually, Ray, there's sometimes, some objections. If people can speak out, their objections, it's easy to handle.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, when we do these presentations, we find a lot of the sellers, they have objection in their mind, but they not speak out.
Okay.
How are you going to find out that one?
Okay, let's practice that. So you'll be the seller, you're not gonna say anything. Let's practice that, okay? So you'll be the seller that's not gonna say any objections, okay?
Yes, I just say, thank you so much for your presentation. I will think about it. I will let you know. But at that time, you already know that people already, you by their body language, or by the way they're talking, you already know when they say they will think about it. This already means they are done with you. They just want to cut time. They just want to let you go.
Okay. Okay. So this problem is a problem with the procedure. It's the wrong procedure. What I mean by that is, you do not do the presentation unless you have the answer to the 3 questions. Number 1, what's their personality? Number 2, what's their why? Number 3, what's their price? You will not go into presentation before you have the answer to these three questions. Because if you do not have the answer to these 3 questions, this is the outcome you're gonna get. Basically, they did not even open up to you. So a lot of agents, what they do is they go to the presentation without the client even open up to them. If the client is not open up to you, doesn't matter what you say in the presentation, it's not gonna work. So that's why in each presentation, the first 30 minutes to an hour, you need to focus on open them up. You need to focus on breaking their barrier. You need to focus on gain trust from the seller. Only when you see that they open their arm, then you go into the presentation. Because if they, from the whole time, they don't trust you, they're closed off to you, they don't open up to you. If you just go through the presentation with them like this, whatever you say in the presentation it doesn't matter, is irrelevant. So that's why you have to observe the seller. Okay. Actually, every time before I do the presentation, I actually ask them, can I share with you how we can get you more homes and more money for the home? They say yes, then I move forward. Before that, I'm not doing the presentation. I'm just gonna be chatting. Before, it's a 3-step process, right? You chat, then you tell the story. You do you tell the story with the presentation, and you answer all the questions. So you will not move to the presentation unless you finish the chat. I call it chat because you want to make it look like it's a chat, but from your perspective, it's not a chat. From your perspective, you're trying to get the 3 answers, the question to the answer to the 3 questions, and make it sound like you're chatting. And while you're chatting, you're trying to open them up. Because if they didn't open up themselves to you, like that's what exactly is going to happen, like how you just described. Because the whole time they're just like this. Do you know what I mean, Chelsea?
Yes, Ray. I think you make a very good point there. Ray, when you do the presentation, you usually go by yourself, or you bring your partner or assistant with you?
I think it's better to go by yourself. Because when you have somebody else there, the dynamic changes. I mean, it's okay, you can go with a partner if you know your partner very well, if you have a good synergy with the partner, meaning that you have a good cooperation. He or she knows what they're supposed to do, what to say at what time. Because the last thing you want is you go with a partner and the partner is like say something at a wrong time or do something stupid at the wrong time. You know what I mean? So that's why when you go with a partner, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to, because when you go to a presentation, you have to control everything. But obviously you're not gonna look like you're in control, but in your mind, you have to control everything. If you have an inexperienced partner, either you tell them to shut up, not to say anything, or if you don't tell them to do that, they're gonna say some stupid things at the wrong time. And then you have to control them. You have to watch them. Then that's gonna be too much dynamic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what happening if you are doing the presentation, you found out, the another seller usually is not one person, probably it's husband and wife, 2 persons stay there, and husband and wife they have 2 different personalities there. You probably can make husband open up to you, but the wife is holding, probably because of personality.
Okay.
And then when you do presentation, you can only take one strategy, to open it up. But if you bring partner, you probably can rely on your partner to be able dealing with another person.
No, you cannot do that. No.
Okay.
How
do you see this?
Okay, it's very simple. Like you said, you have a good point. You cannot talk to 2 people at the same time, right?
Yes, you can only focus on one person, in the entire time.
Tell me who you should focus on.
Usually who was open up to us, right? Because it's not depending on us.
No.
The wife.
Who should you focus on? Somebody said the wife. Okay.
I did.
Everyone said the wife. Okay. Who?
Why is your wife? Because you're the guy, so you focus on wife.
Okay, there's a couple of different dynamics. Okay. Who you should focus on should be the main decision maker.
How do you know who's the decision maker?
Just observe. If you observe, you know. Because let's say if you focus the person that's not the decision maker, you're wasting your time because they're not the person that's calling the shots. You have to focus on the person that's calling the shots. But at the same time, you want to give the other person that's not calling the shot enough respect. Right? But in your mind, you know, my focus is to get this guy because he's the person that's in charge. I need to get him in your mind. Okay. But you're gonna still talk to the person that's not in charge because you don't want to make them feel like they're left out. Because here's what's gonna happen. If you know who's in charge, you're gonna focus that person to make sure that person, agree with you and do whatever you want them to do. But if you forget to still take care of the person that's not in charge, sometimes they're gonna get pissed off. If they get pissed off, they're gonna try to stop you. They're gonna try to say something to the decision maker and stop you. Right? Chelsea.
Yes.
So, and also there's another dynamic. Usually it's the opposite sex is easier to communicate. Like it's easier for a guy to communicate with a woman and it's easier for a man to communicate to a woman to communicate with men. But the problem is you gotta control the distance. Because let's say if I'm going to talk to the couple, let's say if I know the wife is in charge and I'm focused on the wife, but I need to also at the same time, I need to take care of the husband's feelings. Because if I only engage 100% with the wife, and if I get too close, the husband's gonna get pissed off. You know what I mean? It's like when, for example, Chelsea, if you go to a listening presentation, if you're 100% focused on the husband, and the wife is gonna get pissed off, because that's like a interesting dynamic. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
Yeah, women.
yeah. So to make a long story short,
Yeah.
is when you're deciding who to focus on, you need to figure out first who's in charge. Then you focus on that person that's in charge. At the same time, you want to, make the person that's not in charge feel good too.
So
Anyway, yeah.
for the team, because it's very good case study here. Let's say I actually found out, if I do presentation by myself, the successful rate or conversion rate is much more higher than I bring the another partner or assistant with me. So I agree to you. Sometimes, if your partner don't know what time they should say what, it's actually not helpful. It's really a nightmare.
Correct.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you. It's a lot of times, the partner did not see anything, probably just sit there. It's actually make that very, very bad. But my question here is, let's say you by yourself, you go to some presentation, the wife is actually decision maker.
Okay.
But the wife is actually tricky, because wife in the entire time, you try to pay attention to the wife. And you ask a lot of, open arm questions, but the wife is just an introvert type of person.
Okay.
She continue looking into her husband is actually a, stupid guy, extrovert, talk aloud, the talk aloud, very, very social. So every time when you ask wife question, it's always a husband pick up that topic to talk back to you. So the wife, basically in the entire time, the wife is not talking aloud. So you really cannot tell what's the wife's decision and what's the wife's mindset. But in the same time, you already threw out so many questions to the wife, but the husband always picked up that conversation. How are you going to deal with that?
So you're saying the husband is not the decision maker, the wife is?
The wife is, but the wife is the introvert.
Yeah, well, the wife can kill the deal.
The wife is really silent and quiet.
Yeah.
So every time we ask, for example, let's say I'm the agent, right? So I ask the wife, say, "Oh, Grace, can you tell me, what's most important to you?" But the wife keeps silent. The husband pick up that topic, say, "Oh, I think we should look in blah blah something." So entire presentation, every single question you try to asking the wife did not answer, but the husband answered that question.
Okay, so in that situation, maybe if the husband always pick up the topic, answer the question, after the husband talk, maybe you can ask the wife again to see if they're on the same page.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, because usually
sometimes, like, I think usually like a driver personality, they'll sit there and just listen to you, right? And say this person's full of BS. They're not going to say anything. And then maybe the husband's an amiable and he likes to talk, right? And so, but the driver in the background can kill the decision, because the wife could just give the husband a look and say, "We're not going to do this," and it's done, even though she didn't say nothing.
Okay, let me give you an example. So that's actually happened recently. So I took that listing in El Monte. Remember that guy I shared with you guys before, that when I approached the house, he was standing outside. The minute I got there, he said he only want to work with an agent that speak their language. So that's the guy, that's the seller. So then I told him, I said, so are you interested in getting more money for the home, or are you interested in working with agent that speak your language? Then he said, "Oh, okay." Then I went inside. So that's the guy. He's the decision maker. and he doesn't talk a lot, and also because there's a language barrier. So the wife is the person that's doing the talking. So the husband is not doing the talking, but he's the decision maker. So in that situation, so the wife is actually translating. The wife is translating between me and the husband. So basically, so here's the situation, okay? No matter who's talking, your intended subject is still should be the decision maker. Like for that scenario, right? The husband, he couldn't talk because he doesn't speak the English, but I would still focus on him because I know he's the one that's making the decision. Although I was talking to the wife, I was just trying to understand from the wife what the husband is thinking. So it doesn't matter if they talk or not. Whoever is the decision maker, you should focus on them. It's just the way is how the communication works. It may be different. Maybe you gotta jump through one person to get to him. But even if they don't talk, you still should focus on them, because if they're the decision maker and if you don't focus on them, if you cannot resolve their problem or their question, then because they're the decision maker, they're not gonna sign anything. You're not gonna have the deal. The only way you can have the contract signed is when you answer all their questions and they agree to with what do you have to say. I don't know if that answered your question or not.
Yes, Ray.
I think in that situation, you would give like the listing contract. Well, I guess to the husband, have him sign it. And if he signs it, the other one will follow the other person's, the decision maker's lead.
Yeah. So you always need to focus on the decision maker. And then let me go a little bit deeper. What happened? So, what was his objection? He had a whole bunch of objections. He was saying that, oh, I think the whole time the objection he has is he wanted to use his agent. And another objection he had was he wanted to sell at a high price. So basically, I just focus on what he wants, and I just focused on. It's the same thing I was doing with George earlier. You just focus on what they want, and because the whole time he was saying, "Oh, I want to use my agent that speaks my language," and the wife translated to me. Then I said, because I think the home was listed before. Yeah, the home was listed before with another agent, and he the whole time he said, "I'm gonna use the same agent." Then I asked him, I said, let me see what I say. So basically, I remember the agent didn't do a very good job because like the agent didn't have any experience. So he said, "Oh, I want to continue to work with the same agent." Then I asked him, I said, "But didn't you tell me earlier you want to get the most price?" And I said, "I looked up your agent that you used before. She has not sold any home during the past 12 months. How are you going to expect to get more money for your home if the agent has no experience?" Then he's like, "Oh," then he thought about it. Then so no matter what, doesn't matter if the person is introvert, if they don't speak the language, you need to always focus on the decision maker. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, yeah. Yes, Ray. So did I talk a lot? It looks like anybody else.
No, that's okay. I mean, whatever you say is gonna help everybody, because everybody's okay. From one time or another, they're gonna come up with the same problem. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So I will use that time. Please stop me if anybody else in this conversation, you have your case to present, stop me. I want to ask you to share your thoughts, your insights about another case in here. I lost at least a lot of cases. I believe the 3 cases in last 3 months. The case scenario is here is first of all, all the presentation, all the talking pretty good. Everything's good. So also about the price, everything is fantastic, great. So, but when we start to marketing and do do all the stuff, for example, you are the seller, I'm the agent, and I said, you said, Chelsea, I really likes you. So Sunday, Saturday or Sunday, come to my house. Let's send this agreement. Let's start to put on market, next Monday. Then you call me back saying, Chelsea, I'm so sorry. You know what? I can give you another, I want to buy some other big house there, I trust you, believe you. But the problem is this house, my buyer agent, which is 5 years ago, 3 years ago, that buyer agent, she actually living far away, but she was driving 3 hours to come to my house, and I feel sorry for her. So she asked me, can I give her that this case? She said she has, she's performance is not good. She not make a lot of money for last 1 year, and I feel sorry for her. And then at that time, let's say, Ray, you said, you know what? Are you selling this house to get more money, or you just sell more house to get your friend? And she said, yeah. I know I'm stupid. I should think about, to get more money, and I believe you can bring more money than my buyer agent. But you know what? We have connections before. So at that time was really because that person already realized, he's well educated. He realized the difference between you and his past, agent, buyer agent. He also realized everything you said is correct. But he still make a decision to give that deal to another agent because he feeling, he want to sell a bad house. At the same time, he want to give that business to the past relationship. So what's truly problem there? I don't get it.
Okay, so let's go through it. So you're gonna be the agent. You're gonna be the seller. I'll be the agent. Okay, let's go through it.
So I said, you know what? This house was bothering me. The buyer agent was he drive 4-5 hours to come to my house last night. He want me to give this business to him, and I feel sorry because it's long drive for him.
I understand that. I applaud you for being a person that values relationship. Here's what we can do. So if I remember correctly, you said your goal is to get the most money for your home, right?
Yes. But you know what? He said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that because market is pretty good. So I'm not sure. If that's 100% sure, you'll get more money than this person not. But I believe, you probably have more chance to get more money. Yes, I agree to you.
Okay. What about this? What if I'll help you to sell the home, help you get the most money, and once we sell the home, then I can give your friend your buyer's agent a referral fee, for example 25%, 20%, 10%. That way they don't feel like they're they drove there, they get paid, they get at least some type of compensation for the work they have done so far.
Yeah, I might probably can ask him, talk to him. But if you give that 20% to that agent, it's still come from my pocket, right? So this commission, I pay you commission.
No, it's the same commission. For example, you pay, let's say if you pay 5% commission, it doesn't come on top of that. It comes within that 5%. You don't have to pay extra. It's just I'm sharing part of my commission with your buyer's agent. That way you don't feel bad about having me sell your home.
But he want the whole deal. 20% is not enough. He want he wanted the whole deal. He wanted to leasing my property to help him grow his business. Because he helped me when we purchased this house. He helped me a lot. He actually, I have when I first come to America here, he helped me. He drive me around, go to the bank. I feel I owe him something. Well,
I mean, everybody wants everything. I want the entire world.
Sure.
If he tell you he wants, if he wants you to give him your house, would you give it to him? Okay, another option. So another option is we can co-list. That way you don't feel bad about giving the listing to me. And at the same time, he also get the listing, and also on top of that, I can get you more money for the property. I mean, for the house.
I can tell you are you try to do the problem solve with her. You try to care. You're really listening to this seller's concern, try to give a solution here.
Yeah, because if that's some obstacle the seller cannot get over, then you just give them what they want. Okay, you want to use agent? Okay, that's fine. We'll use your agent, and at the same time, I can get you more money for your home.
But let's say you present all this, solution there, and he still decided to go to his that one, because he said, you know what,
Then you need to focus on exactly what he wants. So if he say all this and he still go to that agent, that means we have not figured out exactly what he wants. Because let's say if he tell you he wants the most money, but he go with an agent that's has no experience, then his goal is not to get the most money. His goal is to make sure that agent's happy.
No, he's really honest to you. He said, Ray, let's say you ask me all this one, and I will respond to you. Say, Ray, you know what? My wife and him is really a good friend for a long time. And we last week we even go to dinner together. Our family, our kids are playing around. So if I saw this house, he already told me. He said if I saw this house, I had let him know first. If I saw that house, he know later on, then we probably cannot be friends anymore. And my wife will be really mad to me. And you already said, at that time you said, for example, you said, that's stupid because business is business, friend is friend, you should not mess around with that one. He said, I know, but it's complicated there. No, what are you going to do there?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much options, right? Either you sell it or you sell it and give the referral fee, or you both sell it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is a objection handler for every objection, but sometimes if they really insist on that, what else can you do? Let me see. So if they insist on the friend, so okay, in that case, issue because usually when you try to talk to people, usually they're going after two things, right? Either you can show them the benefit of working with you, or you can show them the risk of not working with you, right? For example, let's say in this case, the scenario, they want to insist on using a friend. Then you can say, I don't know if if you're aware of it, the interest rate has already increased. Now it's like almost 5%. I'm not saying it will happen, but what if you insist on having your friend as the agent, and if they don't do a good job, if they don't get your home sold now, and a couple months later, and the price dramatically drop, you might be losing by then maybe 50,000, even 100,000. Are you okay with losing $50,000, $100,000 by using your friend?
Okay, but you already give us some directions to go. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah.
Yes.
Also, the mentality behind this conversation.
Yeah. So you just need to focus on what the seller wants, and so basically usually you just try from two angles. One angle is, hey, what if I can get you at least 5% more money for your home? Would you be okay with, does that sound beneficial to you? If it's still not working, because actually people have more motivation to avoid risk versus motivation to get benefit. So if that still doesn't work, then you say, I don't know if you're aware, the interest rate has already increased 5%, and it's already almost 5% now. If something go wrong, you don't sell the home in a timely manner, couple months later, the price might drop. Are you okay with losing 50,000 or 100, even $100,000 on the selling of the home? If you're okay with that, I don't know what else I can say, right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. It's 44 minutes after 11. Anyone else have any? Edward, do you have any objection you want to talk about?
Yeah, but it's kind of can take a little longer than 5 minutes.
That's
So,
okay. No, that's okay. Go ahead.
like I call a lot of expires, right? Or I used to.
Okay.
and I'm starting again, and it hasn't changed, right? It's all when you call expired, it's always the same thing, right?
Okay.
But I just wanted to hear your angle on, let's say, for example, you're calling, right? And this person's been hammered 100 times already, right?
Okay.
And you get that angry caller is, don't call me anymore, I'm not selling. But there's there's different ways to approach it, right? You can do level shifts and things like that. But I just wanted to hear your take on it.
Okay, so let's go through it. So you're gonna be the seller, I'll be the agent, okay?
Okay, all right. All right.
Ring ring, is this Edward?
Yeah, this is Edward. Listen, you're an agent, right? We're not selling anymore. Take me off your list.
Okay, but I saw that you were selling it before.
Right, but we're not selling anymore. The house is not for sale.
Okay, what made you want to sell the home in the first place?
Well, it doesn't matter. We're not selling anymore. So, take me off your list. I'm getting 100 calls this morning.
I'm sorry to hear that, but so you're saying you do not want to sell anymore forever?
No, I'm done right now.
So you change your mind,
Yes, we're not selling. Take me off your list.
but you haven't answered my question though. What made you want to sell the home in the first place?
You see, at that point, lots of times you get a click, right?
Okay.
And so, what is your level shift? In order to avoid that from happening.
I mean, you cannot really avoid people from hanging up on you.
Well, sometimes like you can make there's things you can do like when the first 2 or 3 seconds, right? In order to level shift, but sometimes some people will get angry with them, and some techniques are to talk faster.
No,
Right.
no. If you talk fast, it's not gonna help. So what's gonna help is by ask questions.
Yeah, like, Ray, what stopped your home from selling? What do you think stopped your home from selling?
Sure.
Right, and then they might blame the agent.
Sure.
But I just wanted to hear your take on it.
What's your question?
No, I just wanted to hear your take, because everyone has prospectors or experienced agents that call expireds on different takes. I just want to hear your take. So
Just ask question. Just
Yeah.
ask. Just ask the open-ended question where they will give you the answer instead of saying yes and no.
yeah.
But that's the reason I asked him. What made you want to sell the home in the first place?
Mhm.
And so it's the same thing, right? So before they hang up, then you tell them, hey, what if I can get you your offer today? What if I can get you at least 5% more money in your home? Would you still be interested in selling?
Okay. So that's your boom. That's your go-to.
So basically, you need to the question you're asking is how do I keep them on the phone, right?
Yeah.
So to keep them on the phone is number one by asking question. Number two by giving them something that they think they're gonna benefit.
Yeah. So you don't click real fast.
Yeah, because okay, let's say if everybody's telling them, hey, what if I can get you 5% more money, for your home? Would you be still interested? They already heard of that, and they're gonna hang up too. But I don't think many agents are saying that. But if you say that, if they never heard about it before, then I think they're gonna stay on because they're curious, right? They want to see, how can you do that?
Mhm. Okay. I just wanted to hear a different take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually it's the same thing. So everything we just talked about, doesn't matter if it's door knocking, if it's a presentation, or if it's a cold call, it's always getting them what they want. As long as you can get them what they want, then they will listen to you. But before you can get them what they want, you have to figure out what they want first. So the mistake a lot of people make is that they don't figure out the problem they want, and they don't open them up. But obviously, when you're cold calling, you're not trying to open up the client. When you're cold calling, you're trying to your goal is to, number one, get their attention. Number two, arouse their curiosity, where they're willing to give you the time of the day to go look at their home. So that's all you're doing, just to make sure that they commit to meeting with you. That's all they're doing. Then how do you make sure they commit to meet with you? You need to give them a reason to wanting to meet with you, right? So a lot of times they say, oh, why don't you just send me the
Information or whatever.
Send me the information. Then you can tell them, you say, hey, or they ask you, oh, how much do you think my home's worth? You say, you know, I gotta look at the home first before I can tell you.
Right.
Or if they say, oh, how can you give 5% more money for me? You know, that's why, you know, we have multiple programs, you know, so I can, if you can meet and talk, if we can talk in person, then I can share with you, you know, how these programs work. So you gotta, when you're on the phone, you gotta give them a reason to meet with you.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? So it's 11:50. So if no more questions, then we're gonna, so next for next session, so we have one more session left. So I'm looking at the top problems people have. The remaining ones are phone skills, confidence, shy. So I guess we should do one more, like maybe one more, maybe we can continue. Edward, if you wanna, so I think you did a lot of cold call before, right?
Yes, lots.
Yeah, so next time maybe we can focus on cold call, and you can, so you'll be the seller, I'll be the agent, so you can go through all the objections. We can go through all the objections.
Sure, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, so next session we're gonna go through all the cold call objections.
Okay.
All right, okay, all right, thank you guys. We're gonna finish the session. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm done. I said thank you, Ray. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Yes.